Good Friday morning, YouTube. How you guys doing today? So, I have a creepy Friday story for you guys. So, evidently, Cookie Monster Shirley is trying to gobble up all the little children. Okay, so anyway, let me read you this story, right? This story is about a Anglo, South Carolina woman by the name of Elizabeth Shirley assaulting a 11-year-old black girl because she thought she was stealing her mail. So I'm going to read you this article. This article states that Cookie Monster Shirley, a.k.a. Elizabeth Shirley, is the Aiken, South Carolina woman officials say assaulted a young black girl after accusing the child of stealing her mail. The 11-year-old, Skylar Davis, was retrieving her grandmother's mail when Shirley approached her near the mailbox on May 11th. So evidently this was last Monday or last Tuesday, I believe. Anyway, the article goes on to state that Davis says Shirley, the little girl's name is Davis, says Cookie Monster Shirley apologized and offered the child cookies after realizing her mistake. Okay. At some point, Shirley's husband, the Cookie Monster Shirley's husband, got involved. Davis, the little girl, says Davis explained that even though no racial slurs were used, she felt the incident was racially motivated because of a comment Mr. Cookie Monster said. Mr. Cookie Monster said, and I quote, her husband said, if you were a different type of person, this would have been another story. Wow. What does he mean by that? Like, okay. Anyway, unquote, Davis said during a news conference alongside her attorney. Davis, the little girl's grandmother, Alice Patterson, called the police after learning of the incident. Shirley has been charged with a misdemeanor and is due in court on July 15th. So evidently, Cookie Monster Shirley, they called the police. They wrote her a citation, which is a misdemeanor, and she's got to appear in court. She wasn't handcuffed. She wasn't arrested for child abuse or anything, child abduction, anything. So anyway, the articles goes on to state that this right here is a photo, if you can see it, of the actual police report. And it says, the article says what you need to know. One, the first thing you need to know is Davis, the little girl, said she and 3 others were standing near Shirley's mailbox but never touched it. What's the deal with people in mailboxes? Anyway, isn't everything online these days? Anywho, moving right along. Patterson has been living at her current home in Aiken for about a year. That's the grandmother. She told the Augusta Chronicle she often sends her daughter to grab the mail from the mailbox. On May 11th, Davis, the little girl, was accompanied by her sister and 2 cousins. They just went outside to check the mail, you know what I mean? Probably playing around. The article goes on to state that all 4 of them are juveniles. They're little kids. Davis, the little girl, told police that after picking up her grandmother's mail, she and the other 3 children walked along White Marsh Drive and paused near a mailbox. They're just walking and talking. Probably can't go far from home. Y'all know how it be, right? She visited her grandmama. She didn't want to go right back in the house. Anyway, the article goes on to state that she told WACH-TV, quote, the mailbox was behind me. I wasn't touching it or anything. I turn around and this lady is coming towards me and assaults me. Child. Davis, the little girl, told the police Shirley, Cookie Monster Shirley, approached her aggressively. Wow, okay. And demanded her mail back. Demanded her mail back? What does an 11-year-old want from... Anyway, according to the Aiken Public Safety Report, quote, the victim was caught off guard. She scared her and told Miss Shirley the mail was not hers. Wow. The victim stated Miss Shirley attempted to grab the mail away from her and in the process grabbed her by the arms and pulled them, unquote. Davis, the little girl, said after Shirley realized the mail was not hers, she apologized and offered to make it better by offering her cookies. Really, Shirley? Really, Cookie Monster Shirley? Anyway, the second thing you need to know is Shirley told police she initially thought Davis was an adult and called out ma'am before approaching her. The reason why the little girl didn't respond to ma'am is because she's 11 years old. But we know in this country that little black boys and little black girls are seen to be much older, as early as kindergarten age. They want to over sexualize our young girls and our young boys. They want to over criminalize our young girls and our little boys. And I don't understand that, but we know that goes on an everyday basis. Okay, and it also this Shirley. She's reminding me of those that used to perpetrate the Casual Killing Act amongst kids. If you don't know what the Casual Killing Act is, Google it. Anyway, the article goes on to state that, according to the incident report from the Aiken Public Safety Department, Cookie Monster Shirley, told the responding officer that she was inside her home when she spotted someone standing in her mailbox. She originally thought the person standing outside was an adult. She's a child. I don't get that, but okay. Shirley says she tried yelling, "Ma'am," but did not get a response, according to the report, because she's an 11-year-old child. She called her grandmama, "ma'am." Anyway, there's a quote that says, she then walked towards the person while asking if the person was holding her mail. There's a quote that says, Cookie Monster Shirley, admitted she tried to grab the mail away before realizing it did not belong to her. Wow. She noticed the address on the mail was not her own. Duh. Shirley said, Cookie Monster Shirley said, only then did she realize the person was a child and attempted to apologize. So you scared a little girl to death, and then your husband came out to back you up. Anyway, the article goes on to state that the police report lists her husband, Justin Shirley, Mr. Cookie Monster, as an involved individual. But the summary of the incident only stated that Mr. Shirley had been rude to Davis and her friends. Third thing you need to know is the police report does not mention race, but Davis, the little girl, says she feels the Shirleys judged her because of her skin color. This is a news report. I'm gonna scroll back up once we finish the article, and we're going to watch the news report, okay? The article goes on to state that the Aiken Public Safety Incident Report does not mention race. Above the narrative, there is a line that reads, quote, "Suspect, hate, bias, motivated." Wow. They're saying above the police report that they believe this was a, suspected, some suspected kind of hate, borderline hate attack, biased because the kids were all black. Anyway, the responding officer left that section blank. Wow. So he didn't say nothing. He didn't say anything about it. But are we surprised? This is South Carolina. Do you see what I'm saying? We know that folks, the Anglos have done lost their rabbit ass mind. Okay. Unquote. The article goes on to state that Davis told police that Shirley's husband had approached the group and was, quote unquote, rude to them. Like, what? Moving right along. She explained during the news conference on May 19th, alongside attorney Justin Bamberg. The little girl's family has hired an attorney. I'm assuming they're going to sue Cookie Monster Shirley and her husband, as well as they should. The article goes on to state that Mr. Shirley's involvement made her think the encounter was race-related. Absolutely. Quote, when we were explaining that we didn't take the mail, the husband said, if that you were a different type of guy, if you were a different type of guy, this would have been another story. You don't have to think about what type meant, you don't have to think about what type means. That is what the WJBF TV reported. What is he trying to say? Anyway, the article goes on to state that Davis's grandmother, the little girl's grandmother, Alice Patterson, who was part of the news conference, she explained, quote, "We're hurt, we're upset, and we're angry." She's angry and hurt, the little girl. She was violated. Absolutely, she put her hands on her baby. Honey, growing up in the South, absolutely. We had to endure this. Our parents had to endure this. It's 2020. We will not have our children go through what we had to go through. Unquote. Absolutely. That is what the little girl's grandmother said. Number 4, Shirley is charged with assault and battery. Y'all listen to this. Shirley is facing a charge of assault and battery in the 3rd degree. In South Carolina, this charge is classified as a simple assault. misdemeanor as described in the legal code. So the legal code states that a person commits the misdemeanor offense of assault and battery in the third degree if the person unlawfully injures another person or offers or attempts to injure another person with the present ability to do so. Upon conviction, a person found guilty of assault and battery in the third degree must be fined no more than $500 or imprisoned for not more than 30 days or both, which is the reason why she was not handcuffed or arrested. You know what I mean? I don't even understand why she's only being charged with misdemeanor assault, which means she's pretty much got up here in front of the judge, and the judge is gonna, shoo it away. There will be no consequences or repercussions unless the little girl family chooses to sue Cookie Monster Shirley, which is, I'm assuming, why they have acquired an attorney. The article goes on to state that Shirley was not taken into custody. Lieutenant Jake Mahoney explained to the Aiken Standard that Shirley was not detained because the charge is low level and officials are attempting to reduce inmate levels due to the coronavirus. Really? Is that what's going on? Is that what they're doing? Okay. Blame it on the Rona. He also told WJBF TV the decision was made because, quote, the offender was compliant. Duh. The offender was positively identified. There was no articulable immediate danger to the victim or to society in general. Well, there was danger to society. Okay, there was an injury to the little girl's psyche because you scared her to death. You racially profiled her. Okay, and no evidence of alcohol or drug impairment. She was drunk off something. She was drunk off unearned privilege. Okay, she was drunk off of racism. So I disagree that she was not impaired. Anyway, the article goes on to state that Shirley was issued a citation in order to appear in court on July 15. As of this writing, the case had not been entered into the Aiken County 2nd Judicial Circuit Public Index, which is available online. Number 5, Davis, the little girl, which you see her picture right here in this tweet. Davis's attorney says the child is aware of the Ahmaud Arbery case in Georgia and is saddened that she may be judged for the color of her skin. This child is 11 years old, and she worried about racism at 11 years old. It doesn't make any sense, for people to act this way, especially towards children. I'm like, were you raised in a barn? Like, where do they do that at, really? But we know they do it in the South, okay? But see, here's the thing. Let me go and read the article. Let me go on. There's a tweet here that states that what is going on? The little girl's lawyer, he spoke out. There was a news conference, right? So here's a tweet from the attorney that said, "What is going on in society? Absolutely, we all owe it to our children and the generations to come to do better, be better, and create a better tomorrow than the today we live through." Now, I know people were saying stuff like this in the 60s, but it's 2020. And how dare these people conduct themselves this way towards a child? See, I believe that they knew this was a child in the first place. Didn't care. The Rona got them crazy. There's some kind of silent permission giving to pink people that they think they have permission to put their hands on black people just because they're black. Okay? Now, I don't know if it's a survival of the fittest because of this Rona has triggered this in these people. I don't know. It's because they know that black people are being murdered with impunity, and they probably 9 times out of 10 won't go to jail behind putting their hands on anybody black. Okay? But see, here's the thing about this little girl. Let me scroll back up. I just gotta say what I gotta say. You see this baby? She got a ribbon on her head. She's 11 years old. Now, see, if I had been this baby's relative, her aunt or her grandmother, I would have had to go over Shirley's house and the Cookie Monster's house and give her a big old sugar and take a bite out of her cookie. Okay, for putting her hands on my baby. You can't go around letting people put their hands on your kids. Okay, anyway, the article goes on to state that Davis's attorney, Justin Bamberg, says the young girl is aware of the shooting death of the Georgia man, Ahmaud Arbery. So they are all afraid right now. You know, do you think that kids don't listen to the news as well? We all know that kids listen to adults talking. So she know what's going on. She's scared of them white folks, scared of to death. Arbery was shot and killed by two white men while jogging. Gregory Michael and Travis McMichael are both charged with murder. And also on a side note, that they mentioned Ahmaud Arbery, the guy, the Anglo man that shot the video, he has now been arrested and charged with murder also. Bamberg explained in a letter to the Augusta Chronicle that Davis is, quote, saddened by the fact people make assumptions about black people just because of the color of their skin. Now, this is an 11-year-old child, right? And she got to be worried about this, right? Child, just because of the color of their skin. If this Arbery would have been treated different if he was white, unquote. Child. Bamberg also told the newspaper, quote, we want the criminal justice system in Aiken County to make an example out of Miss Shirley to deter other people from doing the same thing again. Well, you know, we know that an example is not going to be made here. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, yeah. Bamberg further commented on Facebook, the attorney, quote, what is going on in society when an 11-year-old child cannot get mail from her grandmother for her grandmother without risk of judgment? Child, assault, without risk of judgment, assault, or death. We all owe it to our children in the generation to come to do better, be better, and create a better tomorrow than the today we live through, unquote. Davis, the little girl, said she was not afraid. She was not afraid during the encounter at the mailbox. She told WACH-TV that she hopes Shirley, quote, learns that you can't. I'm sorry for the y'all know I got allergies, right? I ain't got the Rona, I got the allergies. Anyway, the little girl hopes that Shirley, Cookie Monster Shirley, learns that you can't do that to people because I'm just as much a human being, wow, as you are. Wow. So this isn't right. It ain't right, baby. It ain't right at all. How is it that the little girl has more humanity at 11 years old than Cookie Monster Shirley and her husband? Okay. Like, what is wrong with people these days? Shame on y'all for scaring somebody's child. But like I said, had it been my baby, I'd have gave the Shirley's a big old sugar. Okay, because what you will not do is put your hand on mine. All right? Now, if you can't protect your kids, I don't know what to tell you. All right? But you can't ask for the police to protect your children. All right? Because we know the patty rollers don't care nothing about your kids. All right? You don't have to let them. So we're going to listen to this news report. If I can rewind it back for you guys. And we're going to move right along.
Surrounding an 11-year-old girl has people here locally talking about racial prejudice in our area. This 11-year-old girl claims she was assaulted by a 38-year-old white woman. The woman says she thought the young girl was stealing from her mailbox and shook her while accusing her. A report says she tried to apologize when she realized the little girl had her grandmother's mail by offering cookies. Sydney Heiberger has the details of the case.
The big question being raised here by Skylar's attorney, when are people of color going to be able to stop being afraid of doing everyday things like getting the mail? It's the message 11-year-old Skylar wants to get across and why she says she's seeking justice.
We're hurt, we're upset, and we're angry.
That's how Alice Patterson says her granddaughter Skylar feels after being allegedly assaulted while trying to pick up the mail.
Growing up in the South, we had to endure this. Our parents had to endure this. It's 2020. We will not have our children go through what we had to go through.
According to the Aiken Public Safety Incident Report, a 38-year-old woman aggressively approached Skylar and demanded her mail back, grabbing and pulling her arms. Normally, Skylar says she would not have assumed this was a racially charged event, and the incident report makes
I'm assuming it doesn't want to play any longer, guys. But anyway, we won't worry about it. So you heard that Shirley is 38 years old. So she's not even some old, decrepit woman. She's just a messy bee. That's what's wrong with her, okay? So this also lets me know that Shirley, now I thought that she may have, because she got bad eyesight, she's an old woman or something, and maybe she thought from a distance that this was a child. But if this woman is 38 years old, she knew full well that was a little girl that she was approaching, okay, as well as assaulting. And like I said, this reminds me of the Casual Killing Act. I don't know what's wrong with people, but I tell you what, Shirley girl, I would have gave you a big old sugar. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to get off here. I'm sorry the video froze. I don't know what happened there, but we're going to move it right along. I want you guys to have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, okay? I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. And I also wanted to say a happy belated birthday to our Honorable Malcolm X. And following this, just in a second, hold on. We're going to let you hear what the Honorable Malcolm X says about the police and the status of, what he thinks about goes on, with the police in America, okay? As well as America itself, especially as it pertains to justice. Anyway, love you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Peace. Shirley, I would have hurt you, Shirley. Anyway, this concludes my Freaky Friday edition. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Don't scare Negroes today with no badge or no white skin or no white sheet or no white anything else. The police the same way. They put their club upside your head and then turn around and accuse you of attacking them. Every case of police brutality against a Negro follows the same pattern. They attack you, bust you all upside your mouth, and then take you to court and charge you with assault. What kind of democracy is that? What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him? My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this. And it will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves. They attack the victim. And then the criminal who attacked the victim accuses the victim of attacking him. Yes, sir. This is American justice. Yes, sir. That's right. This is American democracy. Yes, and those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Right. Now,